I'm just waking up from sleep, just fresh out, rarest form. And I keep hearing, I was just looking at comments of Usyk and Usyk and Usyk. Usyk is a good fighter. Usyk, a very good fighter. I think Usyk is one of those guys that, he's special in his own right. But like I said about Floyd, like I say about a lot of fighters, man, anyone can be beaten with the right game plan. You know, um, and this might sound bold or whatever, but what happens if he fights Parker and Parker beats him, catches him with something and hurts him, knocks him out or some shit like that? I know he has a good chin and he seems to not have flaws, but one thing I've noticed about fights, right, and fighters, you can watch a fighter win and win and win, and you can watch this guy beat a line of fighters that you've either fought or whatever, right? You can watch them and then you can formulate your own game plan. And that game plan could be better than all of those other fighters before that fought him. And pretty soon, I think the more you watch a fighter, the more you can become familiar with them, especially if you focus and you study a fighter. You can eventually find out, okay, how this guy's winning, how this guy can do what he needs to do. And that shit may happen, man. I think that Parker might figure out a way based on the victories that Usyk has done, the guys that he's beat. I think that he could probably find a way to kick that ass. And people will think you're crazy until it happens. I know. And I'm not a turkey a la chic. I'm not, the British, a part of the British public, because a lot of people are just looking for Usyk to lose. I don't look at it like that. I look at something like, hey, I'm looking for someone to challenge Usyk like he's never been challenged before. Tyson Fury probably did the best job, and people hate him for it because I guess probably how he plays around with his career like he's done for the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's probably, people get sick of that shit, that bipolar, I'm retired, I'm unretired, I'm retired, I'm unretired. People get tired of that shit. But I do think and I do feel that if anything, man, Parker, because I'm hearing comments, like disrespectful comments towards Parker. Like, oh, Parker, he won't even lay a hand on Usyk. And I'm like, man, Parker's not damn Dubois. You know what I mean? And I think Dubois came in stiff as shit. He looked terrible. I don't know. Damn, was he drinking something when I don't know, bro. He didn't look good. He just didn't look good. He looked stiff as he ever been. You know what I mean? And then he really didn't look good in the Joshua fight, to be fair. So, but that's not Parker. So we need to understand, for all the casuals, and what I mean casuals, that for people that don't really know boxing like they should know boxing, they're just, casuals are the people that show up at Buffalo Wild Wings. You know what I mean? They're they don't go into extensive research, neither have they ever trained, neither have they ever fought. Those are casuals. For hardcore people, if you're a hardcore boxing fan, you will at least attempt to see what it's like to go around a sparring. You know what I'm saying? You would at least try. Just because you want to know what it's like to go through what the people that you admire go through all the damn time. So, that being said, man, I'm looking at, comments of people, oh man, Usyk, man, he'll destroy Parker. Usyk, Parker won't even land. He's no, and I'm thinking to myself like, bro, you don't know because it hasn't happened yet. And that's not even a prediction. You're just being fucking rude and being a jerk, But no, If he beats him, then everybody's gonna look surprised, and everybody's gonna be surprised except me because because Parker has watched Usyk. He's been at every fight, and Usyk's been at his fights. You know what I mean? Just being brought out by Turkey, but he's been there. He knows what Parker's made of. He knows Parker has skills. You think he wasn't scared that Parker might beat Dubois? For me, I think this. I do think, looking back, I think Usyk and his team and Turkey, and the help of Turkey, I think they snatched Daniel Dubois out of that fight because they were afraid he would get beat. See, Usyk let it slip on a talk show. And it was Daniel there and it was Usyk there, and I forget what talk show it was, but he was like, I was afraid a little bit that Parker might beat Dubois. So that means that he wasn't really sure, along with his team, because his team also said that they give it 51% to 49% in favor of Joseph Parker winning. What do you think that means? That means they were concerned about who they were going to fight. So why, though? If Parker was such an easy fight, it didn't matter who won, as long as I get to fight the winner. They didn't want to fight the winner, people. Wake the fuck up. They wanted to fight Danny Dubois because they've already beaten Dubois. You don't want to hear that one, but I'm just, hey, call me Kurt Bradley or somebody because, you know, Tim be saying shit that people don't want to hear, but a lot of times that shit's true. I mean, I may be better at saying it, but overall, it's still saying things that are, it's an unpopular opinion. You know, do I think Usyk's a badass? Hell yeah, I know he's a badass. It's not a, I think. But at the same time, don't diminish another fighter to make another fighter look good. Stop doing that shit. It's not cool. And people do that all the time. Parker won't do this. Parker won't do that. You don't know what the fuck Parker will do until he does it. If Usyk beats him, okay, will it be a surprise? No. For me, if Parker beats Oleksandr Usyk, I will be impressed. But will I just be over the moon and Parker's the best? No, because I know somebody also has Parker's number 2. Why? Because he's already been beaten. Hell, Dillian White didn't beat Parker. Ooh, Joseph Parker, Joe Joyce have beat Parker. You know what I'm saying? So, people, it's boxing. It's different fights for different outcomes, okay? People believe in this hierarchy and I think it's easier to believe that versus to understand how complicated or complex boxing really is. And it's about the styles that occur at a certain point of time, when they fight, where they fight. That may be some factor of it, and how they fight. Okay, that's the reality of these fighters. And like sometimes you can beat a fighter and then that fighter can come back and beat you. But nobody is above defeat. Why do you think Floyd's career was the way it was? Because he was smart with how he picked fighters. That's the only way you guarantee not getting your ass whooped, is to pick the fights beforehand so you know you won't run into a damn banana peel and get your ass whooped unexpectedly. But see, sometimes that happens too. But you guys tell me what you think of me waking up straight out of the bed with this in my head, bars. And you guys been Counterpunch.